What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Steph, also known as the Freckled One. Today I'm going to be talking about the brand that is causing so much hype on the internet right now, and that is Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez. I was so excited to try out this brand, not only because it seems like this is already becoming very well received and well liked, but also because Rare Beauty has a really important mission that I believe in, and Selena Gomez put a lot of thought into what the brand stands for. 1% of every single sale goes to the Rare Impact Fund, which has the goal of raising $100 million over the next 10 years so that people in underserved communities can have access to great mental health resources, which is practically non-existent at this present moment in time. And so whether or not I like these products, I think that their mission is amazing and something that I personally want to talk more about on this channel, and that the world just really needs right now. Quickly back to the makeup. I haven't purchased every single product in the line. I bought all of these things myself, didn't receive anything in PR. And so if you want to see how some of these products perform and know what I think about them, then keep on watching. All right, so my skin has been prepped. I've used my typical cleanser, moisturizer, serums that I know work really well with the makeup that I use already. So to start, we are going to use the Always an Optimist Illuminating Primer. This is described as a weightless universal gel primer enriched with ultrafine pearls for a lit from within glow. I got the smaller 0.5 ounce component just because I didn't want to purchase the larger one in case I didn't like it. So this smaller one retails for $14 and the larger one is $26 on Sephora. So here is what the component looks like. It looks like glass, but it's actually plastic, which I believe could be recyclable. Here is what it looks like. It definitely has a pearlescence to it. So I'm just gonna take what's on the back of my hand. Right off the bat, it feels extremely moisturizing, hydrating. I'm not really into those illuminators that make me look like a Tin Man, especially with my freckles. It looks very strange, but this gives me a really nice glow and I like it. I like the feel of it. It's a little bit tacky, which is good for makeup application, and it is scentless. So the brand did come out with a foundation in 48 shades, which is amazing. I didn't purchase it only because if you've seen my other videos, I typically use concealers a lot more, only because of my freckles. Since I don't cover them up, I typically just put product on the outer perimeter of my face. I did purchase the Liquid Touch Brightening Concealer. This is in the shade 270N. This is described as a moisturizing, buildable concealer that melts seamlessly into skin for undetectable, cake-free coverage. This retails for $19 and also comes in 48 shades that match with the foundation shades. And so if I got the 270N foundation, it would be a little bit darker because this is a more brightening concealer. Here is the concealer component. It also is plastic, not glass. I love this matte, light, creamy pink top. And the doe foot applicator is definitely a unique shape that I've never seen before. It has a flat top with crisper edges to it instead of the typical kind of round doe foot that we see with a lot of other concealers. And so I'm just gonna do what I normally do, which is kind of put it underneath my eyes and my chin and the outer perimeters of my face. All right, we'll start off with that and see how it goes. I don't normally put too much, especially with a product I've never used before, just in case it's extremely high coverage, which, if you know, that is not really my thing. So I'm just going to start blending this in. It almost feels like nothing. I'm using my Dose of Colors sponge, which is one of my current favorites. And so here's with the first application. I would say that this is kind of a light medium to medium coverage. You can see that it has covered a little bit of my redness, but not entirely. And underneath my eye, you can still see a little bit of darkness, but it really does feel like nothing, which is amazing. And so I kind of just want to put a little bit more. I'm going to put some here to kind of cut my contour. I was a little nervous because this looked like it was a little bit warmer than I expected when I first put it on, but it blended out kind of seamlessly. I will say that I like this applicator with the sharp point for especially getting the corners of my eye, because I do like to cut my eye concealer a little bit more to give me that lifted look, and it seems to kind of contour perfectly with the shape. And so I do think that this looks really nice. I will say that with the second layer, it is more apparent to me, maybe not on camera, but off camera, that the shade is a little bit warmer than I typically go for. And there you have the concealer. I'm not gonna set it because I do wanna see kind of how it performs on its own throughout the day. And it has dried down to a point where I don't think that it requires any powder. And so next I'm going to be using the Soft Pinch Matte Liquid Blush in the shade Grace. It's described as a long-lasting liquid blush that blends and builds beautifully for a soft, healthy flush. You might be thinking, there's no way that that's what the component looks like, and you're absolutely right. This was a free sample with a code that I used on the Sephora website. I didn't want to purchase a blush, especially because from the reviews that I have seen, it seems to be really pigmented. So this component, which is extremely tiny, I think actually will last me a very long time. So the full size retails for $20 on the Sephora website. And for this, I'm going to be using my fingers. And I'm a little bit surprised because on the website, it looks like it would have more of a purple plum undertone, but this is a lot more pink than I expected. But who knows, it could be cute. Whoa. Has a very interesting texture once you blend it out. So the initial texture of the blush is kind of like any other cream blush that I've tried, very typical, but once you start blending it out, it turns into this kind of powdery, silky silicone texture, which is really interesting. I'm going to apply just a little bit more. See how this goes. Whoa, very silicone-y once you start blending it. And as you can see, there is so much punch to this. You've seen how little product I put on and how big the payoff is. And so to tone it down, I'm just gonna take my sponge and use the side that had the concealer on it to kind of just mellow this out a little bit. But I think that looks so pretty and healthy. I like this shade a lot. Really never felt anything like this before. I actually really like this. So as I said before, I didn't purchase every product in the line. This comes with an eyeliner, brow product, and I believe a highlighter and lip creams that I did not purchase. However, I did get the With Gratitude Dewy Lip Balm in the shade Thankful. So I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and be right back. All right, I am back with the rest of my makeup on. I did forget to mention that the brand does include a prime and setting spray, another product that I did not purchase because I am good on setting sprays right now. And so, as promised, I'm going to go in with the With Gratitude Dewy Lip Balm in the shade Thankful. This is described as a hydrating, fuss-free balm that adds a hint of just kissed color and soft shine. This retails for $16 and the shade Thankful is described as a nude mauve. I'm not really a lip cream kind of gal, so this hydrating balm is like super up my alley. Here's what the component looks like. It is a kind of matte cream color and it has a flat base so that it can sit on a table or a nightstand without rolling around, which I think is awesome. Again, here is the shade Thankful. And so, wow. So that is a lot creamier than I expected. It kind of feels like it has a hydrating like slippiness to it that you might find with coconut oil, and I don't know if I need necessarily a lip liner with this. It is a lot more pigmented than I expected. And that's pretty much it for this video. Just to sum up all of the products and what I think about them, I do like the primer. I think it is illuminating in the most subtle way, which is kind of perfect for someone like me. Like I said, if I put a illuminating primer over my freckles, it looks very strange, especially because I don't cover them up. But this seemed to just give me a really healthy glow, felt really moisturizing and hydrating, and I think for $14 I got a good amount of product. As for the concealer, I really like it. I don't feel like there's anything on my face. It feels hydrating, not as hydrating as the Causemetics concealer, but I think it gives really nice coverage, especially for someone who isn't into full coverage concealers. I do think that the shade that I got, 270N, leans just a little bit more warm than I personally prefer, but I think with the rest of my makeup on, you really can't tell at all. As for the blush, I really like it. I can't believe that I'm saying that, but the only downside of it for me personally is that it was really easy to go overboard, even just with a couple of dots. I think that the color is really lovely. The dry down consistency is not like anything that I've ever felt before. Like I said, it kind of has a silicone texture, which does make it a little bit harder to blend, but it makes me feel confident that this isn't gonna go anywhere throughout the day, which I think is really important. Last but not least, we have the Dewy Lip Balm. I love this thing. I think that the design is really great, especially if you are someone who likes to have like a lip gloss or a chapstick on your desk. This is kind of a combo of the two, and you can just prop that on and it won't roll away. I love how creamy and hydrating it feels. If your skin tone is similar to mine, which is kind of a medium olive, kind of neutral undertone, you'll potentially know that it's really hard to find kind of nude lip colors that don't look too pink or too brown, and this is kind of just the perfect in-between that I have been looking for. All around, this is like my favorite product, I think, from everything that I've tried. And that is it for this video. I am thoroughly impressed by Rare Beauty. I think that it's easy to become really weary when celebrities who aren't necessarily known for makeup or beauty or skincare come out with their own brands, but I think SELENA did a really great job and was really thoughtful throughout the process. I love the message behind the brand and what they're trying to do. I think mental health is something that I want to talk a lot more about on my channel, and that especially in underserved communities, it is a thing that is practically non-existent. Although there are a handful of brands that have come out with, 40 plus shades, including Fenty, I think that this needs to be the industry standard. And so I'm so happy that inclusivity was on their top priority list. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so that you know every single time that I post. Until next time, take care, be safe, and be kind. Bye.